What's going on, everybody? It is U-Turn Crobat here, and you are watching U-Turn Central. Now, before we get started, I just kind of want to let you guys know of a couple of things. For starters, I am a part of a few groups there on Facebook, a few Pokemon groups, and so one of the Pokemon groups is known as Pokemon X and Y, Journey to be the Very Best, and that is where I am the Rock Gym Leader. Now, the link for that group will be in the description. I am also part of another Pokemon group known as Poketown, so the link for that group will be in the description as well. If you guys want to go check those groups out and become members, they are really great groups. I am proud of being a part of them, and I know that Poketown is looking for new members. I mean, so isn't Pokemon X and Y Journey to be the Very Best. I think like all Pokemon groups are just looking for more members, but I thought I would let you guys know that I am a part of these two groups, and the links for these two groups will be in the description. So make sure you guys go check that out. And also, on another note, today on this video, I am going to be announcing the winner of the Shiny Crobat giveaway. So, make sure you stick to the end of the battle and try and listen to try and find out who the winner is, because it could be you. You never know. So, let's get right down to it. This is a Pokemon Wi-Fi battle I am bringing to you against Zane. Now, Zane is part of the Pokemon X and Y Journey to be the Very Best. Now, I don't really know if he wants me saying his real name. I haven't really asked him. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be a problem, but out of respect for him and out of respect for the group, I'm just going to keep it at that his name is Zane. And so, let's get right down to the battle. I am bringing my Drapion, my Jolteon, my Toxicroak, my Golurk, my Electros, and my Togekiss. So, let's get into the battle and see what this battle brings to us. This was a fairly good battle. I mean, I'm not gonna say fairly, it was a good battle. I was happy how everything turned out. I was happy that he brought this team, because some of these Pokemon I haven't even battled. So he ends up going into his Marowak, and I go into my Drapion. I didn't really predict that well, but I think I was just over-predicting, but that didn't really work. So I went out into my Electros instead, because I know I am levitating above the ground there, and so his Boomerang, and if he knew Earthquake or whatever else, wouldn't really affect me at all, because, like I said, I just levitate over everything. And so he ends up going out into his Dragonite. Now, the reason why I use Giga Drain is because Marowak is weak to grass, and I didn't really care who he brought out. I was going to get a Giga Drain off anyone, and so even though the Giga Drain did not do anything at all, I just kind of wanted to switch out, because I wanted to do more damage than that. So, he ends up using Dragon Dance while I go out into my Togekiss. Now, the Dragonite ends up using the Thunder Wave on me, and I am paralyzed now, which is, I mean, it's fine. I mean, my Togekiss is pretty fast, but you'll see later in the battle that I do get my revenge on that Dragonite there for paralyzing me. So, I end up getting some damage off on the Dragonite because I end up using my my Dazzling Gleam. Now, he ends up attacking me with his extreme speed, which doesn't really do too much, but right there is when I get my revenge. I paralyzed him, so now it's kind of even. And I was kind of happy that I did that, because Dragonites could be pretty fast depending on how you train it and everything. I have battled a couple of different versions, so he ends up switching out into his Blastoise, which was a great move. The reason being it was a great move is because I do use a Dazzling Gleam that was meant for the Dragonite, but it does a decent chunk to the Blastoise, which is fine by me. I mean, any amount of damage that I do to this Blastoise helps me a lot. So, I end up switching out to my Electros, because my Electros does know Giga Drain, and I can take the Blastoise out with that, or I could take it out with one of my electric attacks, but he ends up Mega Evolving into the Mega Blastoise. Mega Blastoise is one of my favorite Megas. What are some of your guys' favorite Megas? I would like to know that. So he ends up hitting me with an Ice Beam, he ends up switching out, and at this rate, I kind of want to hit something, I kind of want to hit anyone with something, so I ended up using Giga Drain on his Vileplume, which was not a good move at all. I was not predicting well, but I mean, I end up getting some HP back, but not enough to say so. Now, his Vileplume gets the left use recovery as well. So I end up switching out because I know I can't really do too much. I mean, I know Flamethrower, but I kind of wanted to save that for later. So he ends up going for the Toxic, and I switch out into my Toxicroak because I know that I can't get poisoned, and I did not want my Electros getting poisoned at all. So I end up switching out back into my Electros because right here, now I can finally do a decent amount of damage to him. Now the Vileplume ends up using Aromatherapy, which at this rate I'm thinking, what the hell? All that work to get Dragonite paralyzed is for nothing now. So I end up using the Flamethrower on the Vileplume, and I get it down just enough that any one of my pokes can just take it out. But he ends up using the Energy Ball, which does a decent amount of damage, leaving me at 47 HP. So he ends up getting some of his HP back with the left use recovery while I switch out. And so at this rate, I'm going to switch out to my Toxicroak because Vileplume's attacks, aside from Energy Ball, can't really do anything to me. As you can see, the Energy Ball did not do a thing to my Toxicroak, leaving me at like 160. Not really luckily, but I'm glad that I have Black Sludge on my Toxicroak because I can get some of that HP back. Now, I end up using Poison Jab on the Vileplume and hoping I take it out, which I do right there. I wasn't really sure if it was going to take it out or not, but seeing how Vileplume was low enough, the Poison Jab helped me a lot. So anyways, he ends up going out into his Blastoise, his Mega Blastoise, and I used Poison Jab simply because I wanted to poison anything. If he switched out into his Dragonite, let's say, I wanted to Poison Jab that, just to try and poison it, but I mean, it didn't really work out. I didn't get any poison off on anyone, which is fine, it's whatever. The Blastoise does use Ice Beam on my Toxicroak and gets me low enough that he's able to take me out right here. Well, take me out right here. Leaving me at 43 HP. And so, I was able to bring him down low enough that I could have probably taken him out with the Sucker Punch, possibly. But at any rate, he switches out into his Arcanine. So I end up using my Poison Jab because I kind of still had the mindset that I wanted to poison any one of his pokes. And which I do, because I use the Poison Jab on his Arcanine, and I poison it. Thankfully, because, I mean, that Arcanine could have done so much damage, depending on what moves it knows. I don't really battle Arcanines all that much, but I know that it would know fire moves. I know that much, but I did not know that it would know Extreme Speed, and so he ends up trying to use Extreme Speed in my Golurk, and it does not do anything at all, and he, for some reason, goes for another Extreme Speed. He must have not really been paying attention because he didn't catch the first time that the Extreme Speed did nothing to my Golurk. But at any rate, I am able to take out his Arcanine. And so he goes out into his Gengar, and I'm kind of thinking, you know, I'd like to switch out at this point because his Gengar can do massive damage to my Golurk. So I switch out into my Electros because I want to do something to this Gengar. I want to try and use some of my electric attacks or something, just anything, you know. At this rate, I want to try and take this Gengar out, but he ends up shooting a Shadow Ball at me and taking my Electros out. I mean, which is fine. It is fine because I was just saving my Electros for the Vileplume because my Electros knew Flamethrower. But now that he is gone, I switch out into my Drapion. My Drapion does know Night Slash, and Gengar does shoot another Shadow Ball at me from behind a substitute. Now, the Shadow Ball doesn't do too much, but it does a decent enough, it does do decent enough that I don't really feel like taking another one, so I decided just to use my Sword Stance because I want to try and just destroy this Gengar right now. Now, I can take another Shadow Ball, as you'll see here in a second, but I don't really want to be able to let this Gengar keep going and going. So I use my Night Slash and I destroy the sub. And now I know that I can just hit him with anything. So I was thinking maybe I should switch out into my Jolteon. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. And so I end up just staying in because he does switch out into his own little Blastoise there. And I just wanted to use my Night Slash because if I were to hit the Gengar, I would have you know, just annihilate. I would have annihilated the Gengar. But I just take out the Blastoise, which is good. I'm glad I was able to take him out. Now he ends up going into his Marowak, and remembering what happened before, I wanted to go out into my Togekiss, because my Togekiss is just kind of there, like, levitating above the ground, so any of the ground moves that Marowak wants to throw at me won't do a thing to my Togekiss. Now, he does know Double Edge, and he does hit that off on my Togekiss, and that does a decent amount. It is a crit, and I don't feel like taking another Double Edge, but I do stay in simply because if he does hit me with another Double Edge, I am able to take it, but luckily for me, he doesn't. He hits me with a Headbutt. Now, he does get the flinch off, which is kind of sucky, because I kind of wanted to hit him with something, but he ends up going for another Headbutt, but this time he does not get the flinch, luckily for me, because I end up using Roost. I was just kind of thinking, I don't really want to, you know, stay in and let this Marowak do more damage to me, so I end up roosting up, and my lefty's recovery does basically get me to full health. Just 186 out of 191, which is perfect for me. So I end up switching out into my Iron Giant, because I want to try and take it out with anything at this point. And now that my Iron Giant is out, I'm able to hit it with an Ice Punch, which is what I do here, because Marowak is weak to ice. Now, I destroy the Marowak, and I was thinking maybe I could just leave my Golurk in, because my Golurk does know a ghost move, a dark move. I forget at this point. Yeah, it's a ghost move. But the Gengar does outspeed, and he does hit me with a Shadow Ball, and I am sad because I get to see Golurk go down right here. But that was an excellent move by him. It was an excellent choice to use that move. He could have just used a sub, but he decided not to. Now, I go into my Jolteon, because my Jolteon does outspeed, and I end up using my own Shadow Ball there, and I end up taking the Gengar out. Now, that was a relatively hard decision for me to make. I kind of had to think things through, and so I had to kind of think back to who is faster than Gengar. Gengar is pretty freaking fast, and so I just went out into my Jolteon, because if I remember correctly, I was just kind of thinking, you know, I think Jolteon is fast, but I did take that risk, and that risk definitely worked out for me. So, he ends up going out into his Dragonite, and I end up going out to my Togekiss, because at this point, I know that this Dragonite cannot touch me. So, I end up T-Waving him, because, well, the stupid aromatherapy kind of ruined that for me, so I had to re-paralyze him, which is perfectly fine. I mean, it doesn't really matter if I had to re-paralyze him, or if he stayed paralyzed. It all just worked out for me anyways, but he ends up using Extreme Speed, which is a crit, which is more than I want to take, but I end up using my Dazzling Gleam, and I end up taking the Dragonite out right here. And so, I was just kind of thinking, if for whatever reason, if I don't hit a Dazzling Gleam, I can take another Extreme Speed. You know, I'm able to take that, so. But luckily, I did outspeed. My Togekiss is faster than the Dragonite, and when the Dragonite is paralyzed, my Togekiss is that much faster, guys. So that is why my Togekiss outsped, and I am so proud that my Togekiss was able to take the Dragonite out with the Dazzling Gleam, knowing that the Dragonite did have all that HP. I was kind of worried it wasn't going to take it out in one hit, but luckily for me, it did. So I hope you guys enjoyed that battle. I enjoyed that battle. Thank you, Zane, for bringing me such awesome Pokemon for me to kind of go up against. And so he and I have been battling back and forth, and I know for a fact that this was not our last battle. I know for a fact that he and I will be having many battles in the future. He'll win some, I'll win some, but at any rate, those battles that we have will be outstanding, and I will for a fact be bringing those battles to you guys so you guys can check them out. So let's get right down to the winner of the shiny Crobat. Are you guys excited as much as I am? Alright, I kind of want to say something here first, that my computer did let me know of some, it did let me know who the winner was, but I don't know if my laptop told me all of the people who commented. I mean, I sure hope it did. But if you guys have a problem with who won, then just let me know. This was a fair giveaway. So if you guys have any problems with the outcome, or if you guys have any problems with anything, or if you think that some of your comments didn't show, then just let me know. But let's get right down to it. So oh, I'm moving the camera there. Sorry about that, guys. So, the winner of the shiny Crobat is Dr. Pikachu. Congratulations, Dr. Pikachu. So, you know where to find me. You can hit me up on Facebook. You can hit me up here on YouTube. You could text me. It doesn't really matter. Just find me somehow because you won. You won. Congratulations. Congratulations, Dr. Pikachu. You won the shiny Crobat. Now, this Crobat is the exact one that I have. Now, the only difference is that the original trainer name is U-Turn. It is U-Turn. I didn't really want to give it its own little nickname, but the original trainer name is U-Turn, and I hope you love it, and I hope you use it as much as I used to use my Crobat, which I need to bring back to the channel so you guys can see it more. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Congratulations, Dr. Pikachu. Congratulations. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you guys enjoy this battle, and I hope you guys enjoy my battles in the future. Alright, guys. Take care. Peace.